And next up, we have Luke Beppler versus John Soltis. Different gyms, same affiliation though, both under Brasso. Luke never afraid to start a scramble, goes for the shot. John ends up on top. Looks like Luke might have a rear triangle. Maybe he just has the head, which isn't always super powerful. In these situations, I would try to get to guard or maybe a wrestle up. See, John is trying to make sure he has something isolated, whether it's an arm or the arm and a head. And he's loose on top. He's kind of just waiting to feed off of what Luke's going to give him. Looks like Luke's trying to catch something or maybe get back to guard. Ooh. Try to go side to side for a reversal, but John's just a little too high, a little too, like his weight's not committed to Luke, so Luke's gonna have a hard time with those kind of rolling reversals. Looks like Luke's trying to set it up again. He's got to watch out. There's his arms are kind of out there, which might make him susceptible to crucifixes. Other kind of arm bars. Luke might be able to get his guard back. John sees it. Spinning. John definitely taking his time. But yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit of an isolation on that arm now, and you can tell he doesn't want to give it up. Luke's got to watch out for both of his arms are in danger. He needs to start turning his hips towards John and building up the base. He's recovered with half guard. Trying to get around the neck of John. I'm looking to advance. John might be able just to scoot his knee over and get mount from this position. John has good shoulder pressure on Luke's chin as well. We got a couple different attacks we can go attack from here. John's now in mount. Looks like both of Luke's elbows are pretty high here. See if Luke can blast out of this. First hip bump. Second hip bump. Yeah, Luke's got to keep his feet on the mat to drive. His arm might be in danger though. It's hard to see exactly if there's any kind of like wrist pressure on there or not. John has moved over to an armbar. He caught it.
All right.
Good job. Really great patient performance by John. Got himself a submission on the board. 12 points. Here we have Andrew versus TJ. Andrew hailing from the same gym as John. Teammates over at the Cleveland Institute of BJJ. TJ staying low. TJ's going for a little bit of a shot. Andrew sees it. Immediately inverts. Almost into a alpaca split. For a heel hook or some sort of ankle lock. Andrew in there with his own heel hook and he gets it.
Everything good?
Looks like there's a little bit of a twist in TJ's knee.
That looks good to me.
Yeah, when he when you got a guy rolling backwards and getting out,
Cleveland Institute takes the win.
you have to anticipate that he's fine. Good job to Andrew for getting a submission. Now we're looking at Marty versus Mason.
1, 2, 3, go. I'm running out of juice.
Both of these gentlemen have some of the higher points right now in the league. So this is a very crucial match. If either one of these guys can get a sub off of this, they'll be right back in there with Tyler. This is a technical game of head position. Mason, the much longer of the two of these gentlemen, has to put in a little more effort to stay low. Marty has a pretty straightforward, wrestling gameplay. I feel like Mason, more willing to accept guard, more willing to invert, more of a scrambly duck under game. Marty finds himself in a little bit of a control position with top turtle. He's got a head and arm. Mason doing some hand fighting, keeping his elbows flared. Marty didn't like what he saw, backed out. Slick passing of the head into another head and arm by Marty. Looks like he's trying to set up a Darce or an Anaconda. Mason with good wrist control. Marty doing a good job staying on top. Mason not giving up. Mason gets a wrestle up reversal. He's now working his way on top. Mason with side control. If this was an IBJJ match, which it is not, he would pretty much have the first points on the board. Looking to advance to mount. Looks like he gets there. Marty not staying still, explodes, but then goes belly down and back, which is never a great spot to be in, but Mason is unable to capitalize on it.
Let's go. Good job, guys.
Yeah, really good back and forth exchanges. I think it's still anyone's match. It's really going to be up to who's starting to threaten submissions, I think, from here on out. Although it could be a positional chess match. You know, I find it interesting that Mason went for a guard pull. I wonder if he was planning on digging for the legs. Marty seems pretty content to go back to that head and arm. There must be an angle that he's looking for underneath Mason's chin, or some sort of attack where once he gets it, he's going to lock it up and roll. Mason pulled guard again. Mason, yeah, you can see Mason's trying to follow him and maybe grab a leg on the way out, but Marty is passing from a pretty big distance.
Less than 2 minutes remain.
Mason going for an ankle pick. 2 minutes remain in this round. Mason going for that ankle again. Mason chasing him down now. For a little bit of a takedown. Mason sees it. Pulling guard. Mason taking Marty down.
1 minute left.
1 minute left. Mason's inside control. Got underhooks. Looks like he's... Nope. Went for a back take. Marty saw it. Turned in. Mason's still on top. Gift wrap. Goes to pull him over. Marty ends up in his guard. But Marty not letting that back take happen. Mason looking at the clock, seeing what's left. Maybe digging for something. Marty going for that takedown. Mason reversing it using the wall. Mason immediately going for that Peruvian necktie.
Time.
And time's up. What a close back and forth match.
Wyatt.
We go to the judges' scorecards here. And, you know...
Who did? Mason?
Mason technically did have more submission attempts, and I believe he actually had more side control and mount takes. Marty did a good job with the head and arm.
Honestly, it was super close for me, so it doesn't matter what my vote is, so I'm not gonna pick.
Sorry, I didn't want to.
But good job, Mason.
Me as the ref discussing, but Mason wins by decision. Really back and forth match. Here we have Epi versus Luke.
2, 1, go!
These guys tying up. He pulls. He's got a leg entanglement. He gets his leg out of there. Both guys stand up. Really slick move by Luke, but Epi counters it. Gets a reversal. Luke going for a guillotine. Ooh, there might be some fangs on that. Luke just can't get his hips quite down. Epi should be fighting the hand. Yeah, Luke's only got one arm in now. It's harder to finish that when the other person's in guard. Epi's in a half guard or a butterfly guard. Yeah. Luke's sticking with it. Luke's got to get his knees on the mat and his weight over him. You can see the hand's not underneath Epi's chin. So I think Epi's going to get out of this. Yeah. Good attacks by Luke, though. Luke with an outside pass. Epi sees it. Epi going for an armbar. Epi's guard is so tight. It's hard to do inside passing, and I think that's kind of limiting Luke to just doing those outside cartwheel passes. Ooh, a nice little smash pass. But yeah, Epi going side to side with his guard. Very impressive. It would be good to start threatening submissions from this guy to get back on the judges' scorecards. Ooh, dives right in for the leg. He has the ankle. He's got pit. He got it.
Epi, you tapped him. All right, Epi wins submission. Good job,
Epi. What's up? We have a final match of the day. Tyler versus Bobby Bix. The tackle versus tackle match. I believe this is Tyler's final match against the tackle. Good job, Tyler. 4 submission wins for Tyler. He is now in the lead to the lightweight lead, but it's still anyone's game.